Good afternoon, students. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we'll get started. So what was the last problem we were discussing yesterday? The problem I remember is 36th. So today we will discuss from 37. There are two objects of mass 10 and 20 kilogram respectively kept on a smooth horizontal surface and are tied to the ends of a light string. There is a horizontal force of 600 Newton that is applied on the 10 kilogram mass to pull it. What is the tension in the string? So what is the answer, guys? How to do this? 10, 20, there is a horizontal force of 600 Newton that is applied. So 600 is equal to, can I write it as 30 times A? So the acceleration of the system is how much? 20 meters per second square. Okay, the acceleration of the system is 20 meters per second square. Then the tension acting on the string will be like this. 600 minus T is equal to the force acting on this, that is 10 into acceleration. So 600 minus T is equal to 200. So T will be equal to 400. So answer is 400 Newton.
Sir?
Tell me.
Sir, or instead of taking a block of 10 kg, we can directly find tension on 20 kg. So 20 into 20 is 400.
That also you can do. T is equal to 20 into A, 400. That also you can do. Both are same. So this T will be equal to M into A, that is 400. Yeah. Next one is easy, right? So there is a particle of mass 4 kilogram that is acted upon by. Just give me a minute. I'll open the solution sheet. Check if all the answers are right. One minute. Yeah. So what is the question number? 37, right? 37. Yeah, 400 Newton is right. Yeah. 38. There is a particle of mass 4 kilogram which is acted upon by a steady force of 4 Newton. Distance traveled by the particle in 4 seconds. So how to solve this? So there is a particle acted upon by a force of 4 Newton. So acceleration of the particle is 1 meter per second square. Distance traveled by the particle in 4 seconds. S is equal to half at square. Half into 1 into t square is 16. That is going to be 8. So 38, the option is 8. Okay. 39th. There is an object of mass 10 kilogram that lies on a rough horizontal surface. When a horizontal force of F Newton acts on it, it gets an acceleration of 5 meters per second square. And when the horizontal force is doubled, it gets an acceleration of 18 meters per second square. The coefficient of friction between the body and the horizontal surface is. Okay. So in the first case, if the force of F Newton is applied, there is a friction of mu n acting. Correct? Mass of the body is still the same, mg. So in the first case, F minus mu mg is equal to m into a. The second case, 2F minus mu mg is equal to m into a dash. Correct? So what we can do is we'll multiply the first equation with 2 and subtract both. So you will get mu mg is equal to ma dash minus 2ma. Okay. So m will get cancelled. Mu into g is how much? 10 is equal to a dash is 18 minus 2 into a is 5. So it is going to be 8. So mu into 10 is equal to 8. So mu will be how much? Be 0.8. I hope everyone is clear with what I did. So 39, yeah, answer is 0.8. Okay. 40th. There is a man who weighs 80 kilogram. He stands on a weighing scale in a lift which is moving upward with a uniform acceleration of 5 meters per second square. What would be the reading of the scale? I told yesterday, when the lift is moving up, what is the reaction force acting on it? M into G plus A. So M is 80, G plus A is 15. 15 into 80 is 1200. 41. The second law of motion in terms of acceleration and mass of the body, F vector is equal to mass into acceleration. Very simple question.
Sir, is the units correct in 40th question?
Units, sir. What happened? Units same that. Huh?
No, sir, I'm asking the readings, is it measured in newtons?
Yeah, it is measured in Newton.
Yesterday we were solving the same sum, right? In that it was given kg.
No. It is Newton only. Where is it? Then they would have asked, what is the mass? You have seen a spring balance, sir?
Sir, 21st question.
You have seen a spring balance? So a spring balance will basically measure mass on one side, force on the other side. One side will be kilogram, the other side will be Newton. So whichever is the requirement, you can answer in this terms.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
So it is not about a spring balance here because spring balance cannot do this job. It is about the weighing scale. Maybe that weighing scale is calibrated to measure the weight, not the mass. See, generally the weighing machine on which you are standing, right? Many people ask you what is your weight. It's actually not the weight they are asking. It is the mass of your body. Okay. So in this question, it is in terms of Newton. So here it is measuring the weight. So 42nd, there is an object of mass 3 kilogram which is at rest. So U is equal to 0. Now a force of 60 square plus 40 is applied on the object, and the velocity of the object at t is equal to 3 seconds is. Okay, t is equal to 3. Here, I don't know what is the unit. I'm assuming it is second only. How to calculate? So whenever mass and force are given, what is the first thing you will calculate? Acceleration. So what is acceleration? 3t square I cap plus 4 by 3 d j cap. But what is acceleration? Acceleration is dv by dt. So you want velocity, what will you do?
Differentiate.
You will differentiate or
Integrate.
dv is equal to 3t square dt I cap plus 4 by 3 t times j cap with a dt here. So integrate on both the sides. It will be 3t
Sir?
cube. Tell me that. Tell me. So this and this will
Sir,
get cancelled,
isn't it
isn't it? Oh, it is
Yes.
2, right? Yeah. 2t square.
yes, sir.
2t square. Oh, then it will be 2t cube divided by 3. So it is 2 into, how much is the time? 3 here. 2 into 3 cube by 3 is going to be 3 square. 18 plus 4 by 3 into 9 by 2. This and this will get cancelled. So it will be 18, this I cap, this j cap. 18 I cap plus 6 j cap. Is there an option like this? Yeah,
Option A.
Option A is the answer. Let me check if it is right. 42nd letter. A is right. I hope everybody understood this problem, right? Okay. So there is a force vector applied on a mass is represented by F vector is equal to 6i cap minus 8j cap plus 10k cap and accelerates with 1 meter per second square. What is the velocity, mass of the object? Simple. What is the mass?
10 root 2.
So what will you do? Mass is equal to F vector divided by A. So it is 3i cap minus, 6i cap minus 8j cap plus 10. So it is square root of all the values. 8 square plus 6 square plus 10 square. So 8 square plus 6 square is 10 square. So it will be 10 root 2. 10 root 2 is this thing. Correct. 44. There is a block of mass m which is placed on a smooth wedge of inclination theta. The whole system is accelerated horizontally so that the block does not slip. The force exerted by the wedge on the block. What is the answer? Who solved this question? Actually, this is slightly a tougher question for CBSE, but who could solve this?
Sir, is it C?
C is correct. But how did you solve?
Sir, we have to first draw the FBD and then.
Okay, there is a block on top of it.
Sir, actually, I didn't solve, but I'll tell.
You can tell. This mg,
Yes, sir.
this mg sine theta, and this is mg cos theta. How is the force applied? The force is applied like this. One minute. Force mg sine theta. Force should be applied like this. Yeah, tell me. So mg sine theta, what will you do? You're getting mg sine theta because this is theta. Sorry. Because this is theta. If this is theta, this is also theta. The force exerted by the wedge on the block will be how much? Tell me. Right. So how can you resolve it? The block should be stationary with respect to the object. So this will be F cos theta. So F cos theta should be equal to
MG sin theta.
F cos theta should be equal to mg sin theta. Right. Then they're asking what is the minimum force only, right? The force exerted by the wedge on the block. Okay. This is the force exerted by us on the block so that the block does not move. See, if the question is about the force exerted by us on the block, then it is mg tan theta. Okay, please make a note. So, the force exerted by us on the block is going to be mg tan theta. Okay, let me do it properly. Wait. Yeah, Raghav, you were saying something. Please tell me that. So there is a block like this. So there is a block kept on top of it. This is theta. This is mg. This mg cos theta, and this is mg sin theta. Now, what is the question? A block of mass is placed on a smooth wedge. The whole system is accelerated horizontally so that the block does not slip on the wedge. The force exerted by the wedge on the block in this case will be. Tell me.
Sir, so we'll get A is equal to G tan theta. Sir, you didn't
Okay.
mention the acceleration of.
Acceleration is in this direction.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this acceleration is g sin theta accepted, but they're saying it is stationary, no? So what did they say? Block of mass m is placed on a smooth wedge. The whole system is accelerated so that the block does not slip on the wedge. If that should happen, how can the block have an acceleration of g sin theta? So this whole system should be given an acceleration. Actually, there is a problem that should be solved based on non-inertial frame of reference. Okay, anyways, whatever you know, you tell me. No?
Sir, can you resolve A into this?
You want me to resolve this A?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is theta.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just give me a minute. I'm getting a call. Yeah, tell me now. This is theta. So what do you want me to do? You want me to resolve it into components. This is 90 minus theta. Then if I take it like this will be theta.
Yes,
This
sir.
will be a cos theta. Tell me. This is a cos theta. Okay, next.
Sir, MA cos theta.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So for being
No, I heard
stationary,
acceleration only. No, then I should write ma. Ma cos theta.
is equal to mg sin theta.
Why is it so?
Sir, then only the object will remain stationary.
Yes, it is because in this direction there is no acceleration. So
Sir,
mg
or we
prime.
can say there is no relative motion.
Yes, that also I can say is equal to g sin theta. Okay, next.
Sir, now we can use, sir, if we further write this, it will come A is equal to G tan theta. And then
But
we,
see, there is a relation reaction force, right? You read the question
yes, sir.
carefully.
That
The
is the
force
second
exerted,
part.
yeah, the force exerted by the wedge on the block. Yeah. So what you want to do? You want to write A is equal to G tan theta.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
After that, we have to form an equation for reaction. That it
Okay.
will be like N is equal to mg cos theta plus.
This I have to resolve. No, MA has to be resolved in this direction. No, this will be
MA sin
MA sin theta. Yes. So reaction will be equal to mg cos theta plus
MA sin theta.
MA
And
sin
we
theta.
can substitute the value there.
Okay. So are you getting it? Mg cos theta plus m into the place of A, I can write it as g sin theta by cos theta into sin theta. Right. So you take LCM and solve, you will get mg into cos square theta plus sin square theta, the whole divided by cos theta. This will get cancelled. Answer will be mg divided by cos theta. Okay. So guys, those who have solved it, fine. If you have not solved it, please make a note of this. Right. Shall I move on? So assertion reason, what is the answer for the 45th? There is an object which is a uniform circular motion, the centripetal force is required. Correct or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes, for any object in circular motion, whether uniform or non-uniform, centripetal force is a must. So assertion is true. What about the reason? The body in a circular motion changes its direction everywhere. Is it true or false?
True, sir.
It is true. Now is this the right explanation?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay, next. If a physical quantity is a vector, it must have direction. True or false? Current has direction, therefore it is a vector quantity. This I've already discussed during the scalars and vectors itself. This is false. So A is true, but R is false. 47th. A man in a closed cabin which is falling freely does not experience gravity. Is that right or wrong? This we discussed yesterday.
True, sir.
It is true. Inertial and gravitational masses have equivalence. Is that right? Inertial and the gravitational mass have equivalence. They both are in fact similar. Inertial means, you know, right? Which inertial mass is the one which speaks or measures the inertia of an object. The gravitational mass that they are trying to talk about is the one which participates in the gravitational pull. So they both have equivalence. But if you observe these two, so they individually are true. But the reason has no relevance to the assertion. So the answer will be B. An athlete runs some distance before taking long jump. Is that right? Obviously. It is due to the inertia of motion. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
That is also right. Is that the right explanation?
Yes, sir.
So option A is right. Centripetal force is always required for motion in a curved path. Is it right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it is. On a banked curved road, okay, vertical component of normal reaction provides the necessary centripetal force.
False.
False. It is the horizontal component.
Sir, does curve necessarily mean that it is moving in a circle?
Not a circle. See, for example, you talk about a parabolic path also. There is a concept called as radius of curvature that we will define. Okay. So you take a projectile motion. Generally, when you do these competitive exam-based questions, right? You take a particular point. For that matter, you take any curve. Okay. They'll ask you what is the radius of curvature at that particular point. Meaning, at that point, you need to draw a circle, and for that circle, there will definitely be a centripetal force. So you take any curved path, this will exist.
Okay.
Though this is slightly a tougher question, but it is for your knowledge. Yes, next time you can do it better. 50th. The mass of ship is 2 into 10 power 7 kilogram. Now, on applying a force of 25 into 10 power 5 Newton, it is displaced through 25 meters. The speed of the ship is. So acceleration is how much? So they have given displacement, they have given force and mass, so acceleration is to be found. So once you get the acceleration, what will happen? 25 into 10 power 7 divided by 2, sorry, 10 power 5 divided by 2 into 10 power 7. That is 12.5 into 10 power minus 2 meter per second square is the acceleration. it is displaced through 25 meters. So we need to calculate the speed of the ship. So v square minus u square is equal to 2s. U is 0. So v square is equal to 2 into acceleration is 12.5 into 10 power minus 2 into displacement is how much? 25. So 25 into 25 is 625. But there is no option. Oh,
Correct.
no, v square is 625 into 10 power minus 2. So v will be 25 into 10 power minus 1. So 2.5 is the answer. Correct? Huh? Let's check if that is the answer. Yeah, A is the right answer. 51. So for 51, what are we supposed to do? The figure shows a man standing on standing stationary with respect to a horizontal conveyor belt that is accelerating with 1 meter per second square. The coefficient of static friction between the man's shoes and the belt is 0.2. So mu s is equal to 0.2 and the acceleration of the belt is 1 meter per second square. Up to what acceleration of the belt can the man continue to be stationary related to the belt? So what is the answer? Mass of the man multiplied with acceleration should be balanced by mu s into mg. This and this will get cancelled. So A is equal to 0.2 into 10. So it is 2 meter per second. Right? So if you observe in this question, they would have not given the mass of the man because it gets cancelled. 52nd. A force of 1000 Newton is applied on an object of 100 kilogram moving with a velocity of 5 meters per second. How much time does it require to acquire a velocity of 25 meters per second? So force and mass acceleration is 10 meters per second square. Velocity is 5 meters per second. How much time is required for it to attain? So u is equal to 5 meters per second. V is equal to 25 meters per second. So how much is the time required? V is equal to u plus at. So t is equal to v minus u by t. That is 20 divided by a is 10. So it will get cancelled. It will take 2 seconds.
Sir, this acceleration need not be correctly 10, right? It can also be lesser than 10 if there are some resistance.
Yeah, resistance. But here in this question, it is not mentioned.
Okay.
So whichever it is not mentioned in theoretical physics, you take it as an ideal system only. 53rd. Mass of 2 kilogram is moving with a string in a horizontal circle with angular velocity of 5 cycle per minute. Angular velocity of 5 cycle. Okay. Keeping the radius constant, tension in the string is doubled. Now the angular velocity of the mass will be. So how to solve this problem? So when you talk about a horizontal circular motion, who is providing the necessary centripetal force? Is it not the tension? So T is equal to mv square divided by r, or I can write it as mr square omega. Sorry, mr omega square. Okay. So T is equal to mr omega square. What is kept constant? M and R are kept constant. So tension is directly proportional to omega square. So T dash is directly proportional to omega dash square. So T dash divided by T is equal to omega dash square divided by omega. So 2 is equal to omega dash square is what you need to find. Omega square is 25. So omega dash square is equal to 50. Omega will be equal to 50 means how much? 7 point something. Approximately 7 cycles per minute. I hope you guys understood, right? There is a cricketer who catches a 150-gram ball in 0.1 seconds, moving with a speed of 20 meters per second. Then he experiences a force of how much value? So how much is the force experienced by him? So F into T is equal to delta P. Impulse is equal to change in momentum. Force experienced by him for a time period of 0.1 second is equal to the change in momentum, that is 0.15 into 20. That will be 1.5 into 20, which is 3. 3 divided by 0.1 is going to give you 30. So the answer is 30 Newton. 54 C is correct. Huh? Yeah.
Sir,
Tell me.
sir, or else we can also find the acceleration and we can find
Yeah,
the.
you can do it. How do you find the acceleration? But how will you find the acceleration?
Sir, they are given it was
V
moving
minus
with
U
a
is equal
speed of
to
20 and
yeah.
the final one will be 0, sir, as it comes to rest. So it
0.
will be minus 2.
Minus 20 is equal to A into 0.1. So A will be equal to minus 200 meter per second square. After this, what do you want to do?
So we know that force is equal to mass into acceleration. So 0.15 into 2 minus 200.
Yeah, you can do that. It will give you the same answer. But here it is in terms of magnitude. So you can write it as 30. 55. The mass of a lift is 200 kilogram. When the tension in the cable is 28,000 Newton, then its acceleration is. The mass of a lift is 2000 kilogram. Tension in the cable is 28,000 Newton. Then its acceleration is. So T minus mg is equal to m into A. So T is 28,000 minus m is 2000 into g is 10 is equal to mass is 2000 into acceleration. So 28,000 minus 20,000 is 8,000 is equal to 2,000. 8,000 is equal to 2,000 into A. A is 4 meter per second square upwards. Right? So I think we are done with this paper.
Sir, how are we telling that the lift is moving up?
Because that force is greater than the mass. We are sure that it is accelerating.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Just a minute. Test 3, right? Done. We'll start with this next paper. So this is based on work, energy, and power. So there is an electric motor which exerts a force of 40 Newton on a cable and pulls it by a distance of 30 meter in 1 minute. The power supplied by the motor is. Power is equal to what? Work done divided by 10. Work done is equal to 40 into 30, that is 1200 divided by 1 minute is 60 seconds. Cancel it. 20 watt. Right. Next. There is a cricket ball of mass 150 gram moving with a speed of 126 km per hour. Hits at the middle of the bat, held firmly at its position by the batsman. The ball moves straight back to the bowler after hitting the bat, assuming that the collision between the ball and the bat is completely elastic and the two remain in contact for 0.01 seconds. Two in the sense, ball and the bat remain in contact for 0.001 seconds. The force that the batsman had to apply to hold the bat firmly at its base would be. What is that? How did you guys solve it? Right. What is the basic definition of force? Force is equal to rate of change of linear momentum. I'm bringing this concept because time is involved in this question. So F into delta T is equal to delta P. This is the impulse. Okay. So the ball moves straight back to the bowler. Okay. Back to the bowler after hitting the bat. But what is the speed with which it is moving? Ball completely elastic. Okay. What do you mean by held firmly at its position by the batsman? This question is giving a lot of hint. So what do you mean by held firmly at its position by a batsman? Means the batsman didn't move the bat at all. So what has happened? The ball has gone and hit a stationary bat and come back. So, and they told that the collision is completely elastic. So in a completely elastic collision, what will happen? If the object of mass m goes and hits a stationary object, it will rebound with the same velocity. So the change in momentum is 2 times mass into velocity, or 2 times m into u. Okay. So force into 0.001 is equal to 2 times mass of the object is 0.15 into what is the velocity with which it is hitting? (126 kilometer per hour). 126 kilometer per hour is 126 into 5 divided by 18. How much is it going to give us, guys?
35.
This goes 7 times. 8 7s is 56. Yeah, 35. So this will be 35. 35 into 2 is 70. 70 into 0.15. How much is the answer? 70 into 0.15 divided by 10 power minus 3. So it would be somewhere around 105. So answer is C. 7/15 is 105, right? So this should be the answer. Third, the dimension of k in the equation W is equal to half kx square. So what does k stand for in that equation? What is this equation in the first place, guys?
The K springs constant.
What equation is this?
Hooke's law.
Hooke's law. What is it? F is equal to kx is Hooke's law. Hooke's law speaks about force. There is the energy stored in a spring, right? There is the elastic energy stored in a material, half kx square, correct? So k is basically measured in Newton per meter. So Newton means kilogram meter square, kilogram meter per second square divided by meter. This and this will get cancelled. M1 L0 T minus 2. M1 L0 T minus 2. This is the option. Third A. For a ball dropped from a tower of height h, the total mechanical energy is. It's a very simple question. It's based on energy conservation. The sum of the potential and the kinetic energy. Mechanical energy means sum of potential and kinetic energy. Fifth one. A particle moves with a velocity of 5i cap minus 3j cap plus 6k cap meter per second as the influence of constant force. F is equal to 10i cap plus 10j cap plus 20k cap, the instantaneous power delivered. So what is the relation between power, force and velocity? Power is equal to F vector dot V vector. So what will be the answer? Minus 30 plus 120. 20 plus 120, it is going to be 140 joules per second. 6. F vector is equal to 2i cap plus 3j cap plus k cap acts on a body. The work done by the force for displacement of this much value. Work done is equal to F vector dot S vector. So it will be minus 4 plus 3 minus 1. So it will be minus 2 units. 7th, the kinetic energy of an object becomes 4 times of its initial value, then the new momentum will. So what is the relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum?
P square by 2m.
Yes, kinetic energy is equal to P square divided by 2m. So kinetic energy becomes 4 times, linear momentum becomes
2 times.
7th option is B. Correct. One minute. Okay. One minute. I got a call. Just a minute. Yeah. So 8th one. In which of the following cases the work done positively? Work done by gravitational force when a man walks in a lift and a bucket out of out of a well by means of a rope tied to the bucket. Work done by friction on a body sliding down an inclined plane. Work done by the resistive force. Work done by an applied force on a rough. So rough, friction, resistive. All these are negative works. Work done by gravitational force will be positive. 9th. So
Sir?
8th one.
Sir, actually, isn't it D option? There, because in D they are
1 minute.
told.
I didn't read it fully. Work done by an applied force on a body moving on a rough horizontal plane with uniform velocity. I didn't see that. Sorry.
Sir, not about uniform velocity, sir. Or if you see in option A, the work done when a man lifts a bucket, it is against gravity. So the work done will be
Oh, I
negative.
didn't see that. 1 minute. I saw it about the work done by gravitational force. Work done by gravitational force by a man, while a man in a lift, man in a while a man lifts a bucket out of well by means of a rope tied to the bucket. Okay. So the weight is acting downwards and the displacement, yeah, it is negative. Sorry. It is a negative work. Because force and displacement are in opposite direction. In this case, same. In this case, same. So work is done by an applied force on a body moving on a rough horizontal plane. Work done by an applied force on a body moving on a rough horizontal. That's correct. This is answer. 9th one. The potential energy of a long spring when stretched by 2 meters is U. 2 centimeter is U. If the spring is stretched by 8 centimeter, the potential energy stored in it is. So U is equal to half kx square. U dash is equal to half kx dash square. So U dash divided by U is equal to x dash square divided by x square. So U dash divided by U is how much? U only is equal to x dash is how much? 64 divided by 4. It will be 16. So it becomes 16 times U. So I hope you're able to understand, right? These kind of problems, you keep the constant, just relate the proportionality symbols and then divide. Next. An object of mass 5 kg moving with a velocity of 10 meter per second collides with another body of mass 20 kg at rest and comes to rest. The velocity of the second body due to collision is. What is the answer, guys?
Sir, is it 2.5?
How did you solve?
Sir, we can use that collision equation, sir, like m1u1 plus m2u2
That
is
is the
equal.
conservation of linear momentum. So m1u1 plus m2u2 is equal to m1v1 plus m2v2. m1 is 5, u1 is 10 plus 0 is equal to 0 plus m2 is 20 into v2 is what you need to find. So 50 divided by 20 is how much? 2.5. That's what you told, right? 2.5 only.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 11th. There is a man squatting on the ground. Get straight up and stand. Okay. There is some squats done by the man. A man squatting on the ground gets up straight up and stand. The force of reaction on the ground on the man during the processes. What is the answer?
At first greater than mg and later becomes equal to
Yes. Why is it greater than mg in the first place?
mg. Because he has to apply force such that he like he stands against the gravity.
Exactly. Or else you can say, you know what is squatting position, right? So when he is going to completely sit almost close to the ground, the center of gravity is shifted downwards. So more amount of weight will be there. So there is more amount of normal reaction that needs to be applied. So the answer is this thing. So when he becomes straight, okay, when he becomes straight and stands, his weight will be balanced because the center of gravity shifts in the upward direction and it becomes mg. A moving body of mass m and velocity 3 km per hour collides with a rest body of mass 2m, okay, 2m, and sticks to it. Now the combined mass starts to move. What will be the combined velocity? This is an example of what?
Inelastic.
It is an example of perfectly inelastic collision, right? So m into 3 plus 2 into 0 or 2m into 0 is equal to 3m into v dash. How much is the answer? 3 and 3 will get cancelled, m and m will get. So v dash is equal to 1 km per hour. 13th, the total mechanical energy of the system is conserved if the force sources doing work on it are. So I told the statement already. What does energy conservation theorem state? Only when conservative forces are acting on the system, the total mechanical energy of the system is said to be conserved. Answer is conservative. 14th. So two inclined frictionless tracks, one gradual and other steep, meet at A from where the two stones are allowed to slide down from rest. One on each track as shown in the figure. Which of the following statement is correct? Both the stones reach the bottom with the same speed and stone 1 reached the bottom earlier than stone 2. Is it right? Both the stones reach. What is wrong in both the statement?
Sir,
Stone 1 doesn't reach the bottom. Yes, sir.
Why is it?
sir, acceleration of stone 1 is lesser.
Okay, that is right. So this is wrong. But is this statement correct? Both the stones reach the bottom with the same speed. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because both the objects are released from the same height. So the gravitational energy is completely converted into kinetic energy, correct? So during that process, what will happen? They both will reach with the same velocity. So both the stones reach the bottom at different times and at different speeds. Here the mistake is different speeds, wrong. C, both the stones reach the bottom at the same time but not at the same speed, wrong. Both the stones reach the bottom with the same speed, correct? And stone 2 reaches the bottom earlier than stone 1. That is right because its acceleration is more. G sine theta, right? So G sine theta 2 is greater than G sine theta 1. And we know this fact that T is equal to, so whichever is going to have more acceleration will take lesser amount of time. Because we know that V is equal to U plus AT, they both are released from rest. So T is inversely proportional to A. 15th wonder. There is an object of mass 0.5 kilogram that travels in a straight line with a velocity of v is equal to ax power 3 by 2, where a is 5 meter power minus half second inverse. What is the work done by the net force during the displacement from x is equal to 0 to x is equal to 2? Here, if you observe, the velocity is a function of displacement, right? So how to solve this problem? So how to solve it? Let's see. Yeah. So v is equal to ax power 3 by 2, right? What is the work done? So work done is equal to, is it not change in kinetic energy? That's what work energy theorem states. So change in kinetic energy means what? Body of travels in a straight line. What is the work done during the displacement? X is equal to 0. So when you put x is equal to 0, what is the velocity? So can I write it as k final minus k initial? So half mv square minus initial velocity is 0. Right. So this I should write it as half into m into a into x power 3 by 2 the whole square. So half m a square into x cube. Actually, what am I doing? We don't need this, right? I thought we need to integrate it. So just substitute the value, you'll get the answer. Half into mass is half into v square, that is 5 into x is how much? 2. So 5 into 2 power 3 by 2, the whole power 2. So 1 by 4 into 25 into 3 cube. What is the answer?
50 joules.
50, yeah?
Yes, sir.
But I don't see things getting cancelled out easily. Is it an approximate value? Oh, this 2 cube. I wrote it as 3 cube. So 2 cube. 2 cube means 8. This will go 2 times. Then it is right. Correct. 25 2s is 50. 50 joule.
Sir, actually here in this question, acceleration is mentioned, right? It's given.
Where?
So it's given
A,
like, yes, sir, acceleration is equal to 5 meters
1
per
minute.
second.
1 minute. 1 minute. Is this the unit of acceleration?
It is actually A, not acceleration.
A is not acceleration. A is some constant.
Okay.
Got it? Yeah. Sixteenth, there is an object of mass m1 that collides elastically with another mass m2 at rest. There is a maximum transfer of energy when. So when do we say maximum transfer of energy will take place? Means the first object should come to rest and the second object should start moving with the same velocity or double the velocity also. So when will that happen?
When masses are equal.
When?
Masses are equal.
Yes. Seventeenth, a block having a mass of 0.8 kilogram is given an initial velocity of 1.2 meter per second to the right and collides with a spring of negligible mass of force constant K is equal to 50 Newton per meter. Assuming the surface to be frictionless, calculate the maximum compression on the spring after the collision. So what is happening, guys? So initially it has kinetic energy and that is getting completely converted to elastic potential energy. So half and half are gone. Mass is 0.8. So 8 divided by 10 into V square is 12 divided by 10 the whole square is equal to K is 50 into X square. So 144 into 8 divided by 100 is equal to 50 into X square. This will go 4 times. This will go 25 times. So X square is equal to 144 divided by
Sir, isn't it 144 by 1000 because we have 8 by 10 also?
1000. Yeah. Is this right?
Yes, sir.
So now you take square root. Square root of 144 is 12 divided by square root of 1000 is how much? 10 root 10 into square root of 25 is 5. Correct? So rationalize it. 12 root 10 divided by 100 into 5. So root 10 is 3 point something. So what is the answer, guys?
0.5.
So this is the answer that you're supposed to get. Okay. Next. 18th. So there is a 0.8 kilogram ball which is tied to the end of a string which is 1.6 meter long and swung in a vertical circle. Calculate the total work done on the ball by the tension in the string. Second is gravity for motion along the semicircle from lowest to the highest point. So what is the answer? So work done by tension is 0. Right? Because tension and the displacement are taking place in the same direction. Now they asked what is the work done by the gravity for motion from the semicircular path when the object has gone from here till here. Right. So what is the answer, guys? Sorry, I made a mistake. Tension will act like this, displacement will be in this direction. Tension and displacement are always perpendicular to each other. You take any point, the displacement will be perpendicular to that. Okay, because tension is acting radially and the displacement is acting tangentially. Now, what about the work done by the gravitational force? So work done by the gravitational force is initial potential energy minus final potential energy. So what is the final potential energy? If I take the bottom as a reference, it is mg into this height, and mg is in this direction. The displacement has taken place in this direction into height into cos of 180 degrees. M is how much? 0.8 into g. Did they suggest to take it as 10? For time being, let me take it. Okay, because all the decimal values are different. So 10 into cos 180, sorry, h is how much? H is 3.2, right? Into cos 180 is minus 1. So what is the answer you will get, guys? 32 into 0.8.
Sir, is it option D?
Correct. Because you will get 24 point or 25 point something.
Sir, I have a doubt here.
Tell me.
Sir, why aren't we discussing anything about kinetic energy in this one? Because for
You can do
spinning the
that.
ball,
You can do that also. The total work done by the gravitational force is equal to change in kinetic energy. You want to, you can do also. Ke final is how much? You know what is the velocity of the object at this point?
root gr,
Root gr. You know what is the velocity of the object at this point? Root 5
root
gr.
5 gr.
Substitute those values, multiply with mass and a half, you will get the answer.
Okay.
You can do this at part of homework. Yeah, I thought of doing that only first, but then I thought, why to complicate stuff? Okay, if you want, you can try and see. You'll get the same answer. So the force of attraction due to a hollow spherical shell of uniform density on a point mass situated inside it is. What is the
Zero.
answer?
Sir, what you took for the height, sir?
Height is 2 times the length of the string.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Length of the string is this much, right? I hope you are able to understand.
Yes.
Right? So the force of attraction due to a hollow spherical shell of uniform density on a point mass situated inside it is
0, sir.
why?
Sir, vectorially everything will cancel out.
Yes. The similar kind of concept you will learn next year also in electrostatics chapter. That is the first chapter of your 12th standard. 20th. So particles of mass 2m, small m, and capital M are respectively at points A, B, and C, where AB is equal to half of BC. M is much smaller than capital M, and at T is equal to 0, they all are at rest. At subsequent times, before any collision takes place, what are they asking? So how to solve this? So there are particles of mass 2m, small m, and capital M, which are placed at the points A, B, and C, where AB is equal to half of BC. Okay. So AB, if I take BC as 2A, then this will be A. Small m is much smaller than capital M. So when it is smaller than capital M, it will be smaller than 2m also. Now what will happen?
The M will move towards 2M.
So how do they calculate it?
Sir, we have to use gravitational force here.
You have to use the Newton's law of gravitation and see which one will dominate. Okay, so you will calculate FAB, you will calculate FBC, you will calculate FAC, all these things you will calculate. Then what you will do is what are they asking? It is the force experienced by small m. So M will move towards. Okay. So the question is about what is the, indirectly they're asking what is the force experienced by the small m due to the remaining parts of the system. So calculate the force between A and B, calculate the force between B and C. See which one is dominating. Based on that, you can say that the mass M will move towards 2m. Even without calculating, you can tell it how. Even without calculating, you can say, guys.
Yes, sir.
Because how did we say? Because
It is
Newton's
directly proportional to mass.
directly proportional to the product of the combination of masses and inversely proportional to distance. Here, distance is also less, and the combination of mass product is also more. So obviously, it will move towards 2m. Because I told towards because it is always an attractive force. Sharia. 21st. A uniform solid 1000 kilogram sphere has a radius of this much value. Find the gravitational force the sphere exerts on a 2 kilogram point mass placed at a distance of 5.01 meters from the center of the sphere. So there is a uniform solid sphere of mass 1000 kilograms. So the mass of the sphere is concentrated at its center. It already has a radius of 5 centimeter, and there is a point mass which is placed at a distance of 5.01 meter from the center of the sphere. Okay. So how to find the gravitational force? This is a simple problem actually. 6.67 into 10 power minus 11 into the product of the mass 2000 divided by 5.01 the whole square. That's it. What will be the answer? Anybody? It is given as 5.31 into 10 power minus 9. Okay. 22nd. The force of gravitation is non-conservative, conservative.
Conservative.
It is conservative because it is gravitational force, right? So what will be the formula for the mass of the earth in terms of g, that is acceleration due to gravity, radius, and capital G? So we know that small g is equal to gm divided by r square. So m will be equal to g r square divided by capital G. Option D, 24th. So 23rd, yes, it is D. So 24th. There is an object of weight 72 Newton which moves from the surface of the earth at a height half of the radius of earth. Then the 1 minute. There is an object of weight 72 Newton which moves from the surface of the earth. From the surface of the earth, actually not at, it is to a height half of the radius of the earth. Then the gravitational force exerted on it will be. What will happen? So when the object is displaced along the altitude, what will happen to its acceleration due to gravity?
Will reduce.
It will reduce. One minute, let me read the question. Body of weight 70 moves from the surface of the earth. Moves from the surface of the earth at a height. Doesn't make sense. Okay, to a height of half the radius. Okay. So what will be the force then? So weight of the object here is 72 Newton. So when it is moved to a certain height, what will happen? This is R by 2. Actually, this question doesn't make sense to me.
Why, sir?
I'm just worried about this part. Read the question carefully. There is an object of weight 72 Newton which moves from the surface of the earth. If this word at was there, what are they trying to say? At a height, half of the radius of the earth. What does it mean? If I change it to 2, are they asking the gravitational force exerted on it at that point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then if that is the case, then we can do this. G into capital M divided by R plus R by 2 the whole square. Can I write it like this?
Yes.
Into small m. So this will be the force. And remember, when it was on the surface of the earth, gm by r square is what is 72. Correct? So g into capital M into small m divided by, oh sorry, gmm divided by r. Gmm divided by r square. So this will become 9r square divided by 4. Correct, Ada? 3 by 2 the whole square, it will become 9r square divided by 4. So gmm divided by r square is 72. So 72 into 4 divided by 9. Now this 9 and this will get cancelled how many times? 8. So 8 fours is 32. This will be the answer. Correct? Now it makes sense. I was just worried about this word at. It is actually 2. Okay. Next. How to do the next one? So 25th. There is a bullet of mass 0.012 kilogram and horizontal speed of 70 meters per second, strikes a block of wood of mass 0.4 kilogram and instantly comes to rest with respect to the block. The block is suspended from the ceiling by means of thin wires. Calculate the height to which the block raised. Also estimate the amount of heat produced. This is actually a textbook problem. So can you tell me the energy conservations that are taking place? Energy conversions that are taking place? Half mv square is equal to mgh. So initial kinetic energy is getting converted to the potential energy. So v square by 2, that is 490 divided by 2 is equal to, mass is not needed at all, right? So g is how much? 9.8. See, whenever there is a combination of 49, 98, take it as 9.8 into height is how much? That is what we need to find. So 9.8 in 9.8 into 5 is 490. This will go 5 times. So 2.5 is the answer. No option at all. Huh? 2.5.
2.5 meters, sir.
2.5 meter. Then it should be 25 centimeter. Sorry, 2.5 meter. No, it's v square. Did I miss something? $4,900. It is 50, so it will become 25. So it should be 25. Oh, I didn't. I made a mistake. Can someone tell me what is the mistake I made?
Sir, the energy is getting lost in it.
Energy is getting lost. Okay, that is okay. The thing is, here there is a collision taking place. Energy is getting lost. So if you understand the question, it is like that the block is there and bullet is traveling into it and it is getting raised to a certain height. Right? So you can take this as an example of, first thing, you can take this as an example of perfectly inelastic collision. Okay. So when it is perfectly inelastic collision, what are the steps that are happening? Initially, this bullet has velocity. This is at rest. And this gets pierced into it. What will happen? Combined system will get a velocity. And that velocity is the one which is responsible to take the object to this height. Correct? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
So the mistake I made is I wrote half mv square is equal to mgh. No, that is not right. Because the velocity of the bullet is lost, like how you told. So it is our job to find what is the velocity with which the whole system has got raised. So for that, we need to first apply the conservation of linear momentum. So mass of the bullet into its speed is equal to mass of the bullet plus capital M into the speed of the system. Accepted? So this is 0.012 into 70 is equal to 0.012 plus, that is 0.412 into V. So V is equal to 0.012 into 70 divided by 0.412. Okay. So these many meter per second is the velocity with which the system is racing. Then what we should do is half into small m plus capital M into v square is equal to small m plus capital M into g into h. This and this will anyways get cancelled because the bullet is still inside the block. Now take this v and substitute it here. That will give you the value of h. So if I'm not wrong, the answer should be somewhere closer to 25. It should have been D. But the answer given is D. So we need to do exact calculations. Guys, did you understand the concept I'm trying to talk about?
Sir, why is the potential energy and kinetic energy equal?
Why the potential and kinetic energy are?
Equal.
Because once the bullet has got embedded into this block, okay, it is the system's kinetic energy that is getting converted to the system's potential energy. So after the bullet has gone into the block, okay, after it has got started to move, is there any energy loss that is taking place?
No, sir.
Energy loss has taken place only after the bullet has entered and it has come to a halt. Correct?
So basically it's like 1/2 v square plus 0 is equal to mgh plus 0, correct?
Something like that.
Okay.
mgh plus 0, but it is like total energy only. But here the mass, instead of taking the mass of the bullet, I should take the mass of the bullet plus the mass of the block.
So
But
when it reaches that height, kinetic energy is 0.
Kinetic energy becomes 0, no? Because that is a maximum height. No, that's what they told. Calculate the height to which the block rises. Means after that point, it will stop or it has to come back to its original position.
Okay, sir.
Okay, got it? Yeah.
Okay.
So you need this velocity to calculate this. So this is slightly tedious, but yeah, you guys can try it out. Okay. From 26 onwards, we'll see it in the next class. Okay. So that's it, guys.